всех. Вот, это было все в прошлом, и поэтому все рассказываем в прошлом. То есть go to the university там of Cambridge, да, то есть мы говорим не go, а went, да. Вот, это очень важно. Что хотела дальше вам сказать? Так, кого-то еще хотела спросить. Света, please. Ага.
Throughout his life, he was a sensitive, fragile person, so he didn't take well criticism, and because of that, he often delayed publishing his works, and it led him many problems. He suffered from two nervous breakdowns and finally stopped doing research, but he continued worked in the government, and he was magister in the Royal Mint in 1705. He became the
Knife.
The knight of the Queen Anne, and he died in 1720.
Сегодня я покажу, как использовать частую программу в OBS.
Oh, he was made a knight. Okay.
После этого видео вы с вероятностью 99,9%
И момент, да, как
решите
вы
эту
скажете,
проблему.
хрупкий.
Fragile.
Позначку
Fragile, да?
OBS.
Fragile. Okay.
Ставим.
Так, кто у нас там еще не отвечал? Степан.
Isaac Newton was born on Christmas 1642. His father was a farmer in the north of England. Unfortunately, his
Галочку
father
«Запустить
had
программу
died
в режиме
several months
совместимости»
before Newton
и
was
выбираем
born,
Windows
and
7.
Newton never knew him. Some years later, his stepfather died, and his mother
Ставим
returned
галочку на «Запускать» от имени администратора. Затем переходим в NVIDIA Control Panel.
will help.
Управление
He
параметрами
didn't want
3D.
him to go to school, and he wanted to learn him to be a farmer. But Newton didn't like it and was not very good in farming, and he was allowed to return to school.
Программные настройки.
Thank you.
Выбираем OBS.
Спасибо большое. Так, and
И в
Danny,
этом пункте
please.
выбираем интегрированное графическое оборудование.
Newton was studying law at Cambridge,
По сути, на этом все. И многие видео на этом заканчиваются, но сама проблема у многих все еще остается. Но не волнуйтесь, у меня есть решение. После всех этих процедур заходим в параметры.
Thomas Hobbes and Boyle. And also he explored the ideas of Galileo, Copernicus, and Kepler. At the same point, Newton studied interesting
Настройки
in
графики.
mathematics.
Нажимаем обзор и
Where
добавляем OBS.
he involved the Newton's invention of calculus. In the field of optics, he made important discoveries about light and color theory. Also, he involved a first reflecting telescope. He was also involved in alchemy, religion, and of course physics, where his discovery of
Когда значок приложения OBS
planetary motion
появится,
and universal
кликаем на
gravity
него, параметры,
was
выбираем
very
режим
important
энергосбережения.
advances of
сохраняем.
theory,
Все.
and
После этого OBS у вас
served
просто
as
обязан
basics.
заработать. Пишите о своих
it's
успехах в
okay.
комментариях.
Спасибо.
Всем удачи.
Как вы скажете еще раз ученого? Descartes вы имели в виду, да? Descartes. Так, и
Descartes.
Да. И алхимия?
Alchemy.
No, alchemy. Yeah, alchemy. Да, да, спасибо. So, besides that, you also had to read, to watch, yes, the movie. The movie called... Так, давайте его найдем. It was about Newton's telescope also. So let's find... So, video Newton's telescope. So let's do the tasks, yes, to complete all of them. So let's start with the first one. So at the first task, you have to study the following words and the word combinations. Michael, could you read the first one? What is it? Could you give me some explanation in English? Как мы можем сказать? Это степень, в которой что-то сделано, чтобы выглядеть больше, да? То есть это степень, да? Да. Degree, yes, it's the degree to which something is made to look larger. For instance, yes, the telescope has a magnification of 50. Okay, thank you. The next one. And what is the part of speech, Michael? Magnification. How can we say it in English? No? No. Noun. Yeah, noun. Okay. Ilya, the next word.
To magnify.
To
magnify. Yeah.
Enormous. Yeah.
Enormous.
Enormous. Yes. What is it? Give me some definition.
It's something huge.
Yes, very large. And what is the part of speech?
Adjective.
Good. Okay, thanks. Maxim, the next one.
Саня.
So enormous, so very big, large.
No. We're speaking about groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. Oh, sorry. Groundbreaking. Something new. Something the revolution idea in some area.
It's using new ideas or methods. No. We're speaking about groundbreaking. And what is the part of speech of this word?
It's ground adjective.
Good. Okay, the next one. The next one. Speaking about groundbreaking. Artyom Minaev, the next word. Part of speech of this word.
To recognize somebody for something.
Good. Okay, the next one. The next one. About groundbreaking.
Признавать кого-то за что-то.
Could you explain it in English?
To recognize somebody for something.
Good. Okay, the next one. The next one. About groundbreaking.
Признавать кого-то.
То есть думать, что кто-то сделал очень хорошую и важную работу, как мы скажем?
No. Think about somebody that he
сделал совершенный вид.
No, he do something very good. Has done something. Has done something very good.
Okay. The next word. Дени?
Алло.
Алло.
Сейчас. Уже все
Раз, два.
Какое слово?
Один, два,
Mirror.
Алло.
Да.
На русском, на английском
Да,
зеркало.
получается. Нормально?
So how can you explain it in English?
Something that you can see yourself in this.
Так, ну давайте скажем более, да, немножко по-научному. Значит, у нас получается это кусок специального плоского стекла, который отражает изображение.
Раз.
It's a piece of как гладкая будет. Special flat glass that can reflect light.
Reflects. Нет, that reflects, да, который отражает.
Прикол.
That can reflects light.
Нет, если can, то не надо окончание, да? That reflects, либо that, да. Some images, yeah? Images, okay. And what part of what is a part of speech of the word mirror?
What?
Максимум.
What is a part of speech of the word mirror?
Что за прикол?
What is it? Adjective, noun, adverb.
It's a
Работает? Нет.
It's a noun, good. Okay, and the last one, reflect. Reflect. Степан?
Работает или нет?
Reflect is send back the light.
Ну, автотюн.
And what is the part of speech?
Работает? Нет, не работает.
Good. And also you had to answer these questions, yes, after watching the movie. So let's start with the first one. So what is the reflecting telescope? Michael, could you answer the first question?
Первое, да? Refracting telescope is a telescope that consists of lens and no mirrors. Вот.
Okay. So besides the size, there is another problem, yes? A rainbow around the objects, which makes it difficult to see the objects clearly. Yes, this effect is called chromatic aberration, yeah, also. So it is considered interreflection telescope. So the next one, the second.
Ну, автотюн хочу. Автотюн. Типа эффект, вот.
The refracting telescope has a very high cost, and there a certain amount of how it's called in video, secondary spectrum.
So I think it's a NMO size, yes, and chromatic aberration.
Yes.
And these are drawbacks. Yeah, these are drawbacks. Drawback is like the disadvantages. Yes, it's the same meaning. Okay, number 3. Так, Степан. Степан, have I asked you previously?
Newton invented a refracting telescope.
Could you speak about? Could you speak more about telescope? What was it like? Степан, it is your question. Степан, are you here? Так, ребят, не могли бы вы мне рассказать, да, про телескоп? Что там было-то с этим телескопом? Как мы скажем, его телескоп в 10 раз меньше преломляющего и не страдает от, точнее, хроматическими аберрациями, да? Как мы скажем это? How can we say it in English? Артем Боболев.
The reflecting telescope that Newton invented was 10 times smaller and didn't have a chromatic aberration.
Good, thank you. Into the next question. It's number 4, yeah. Полина, the last one.
What did he use in his telescope to magnify objects? He used the system of mirrors and some lines maybe.
Окей. Так, у вас всего 4 вопроса, правильно?
Ну, 7 их тут.
Их здесь 7, да, у вас? Так, окей, the next one. Michael.
Какой?
Number 5.
What were its advantages? Это который Ньютон invent, да? Этот телескоп. No, it was smaller 10 times than usual refracting telescope. Also, it didn't suffer from chromatic aberration.
So I think it was enormous size, yes, and a chromatic aberration. Так, мы что-то еще, да? Какой сейчас у нас вопрос?
Ну, 6.
Мы делали 6? Вы на 6. Так, 7 тогда. Number 7. Артем Минаев.
What happens to light when it passes through the lens? No, the light refracts in the lens.
Окей. Так, сколько у нас с вами еще времени есть? Я бы хотела вам еще видео дать посмотреть. So, so today you will have to watch one more video. You can find it on Moodle. It's called Map of Physics. So it lasts about 9 minutes, but it has subtitles. Yeah. So just open the Moodle and try to find this text, this video file. Yeah. Have you managed to find it? It is below the video called Newton's Telescope, Map of Physics. Нашли?
Да, нашли.
Давайте, смотрите видео.
So physics is a huge subject that covers many different topics, going from galaxies in the depths of space right down to subatomic particles. And if you don't already know physics, it's difficult sometimes to see how all of these different subjects are related to each other. So this is my attempt to show that in a map. So this is the map of physics. I hope you enjoy it. Physics can be broadly broken down into three main parts: classical physics, quantum physics, and relativity. We'll start with classical physics, and a good person to start with is Isaac Newton. His laws of motion describe how everything made of matter moves about, and his law of universal gravitation tied together the motion of planets in the sky with the falling of objects on Earth into one elegant and general description. He also invented calculus, a supremely powerful mathematical tool which has been used over the centuries to drive new physics. Calculus is really a part of mathematics, but physics and mathematics are inseparable. Maths is the language of physics, and you can imagine it like the bedrock that the world of physics is built from. Newton also made strides in the field of optics, which is the physics of light and how it travels through different materials. It explains refraction seen in prisms and lenses, which are used to focus light in telescopes, microscopes, and cameras. Telescopes enabled us to peer into the depths of space and observe the wild array of objects there, and develop astrophysics and cosmology. Optics is closely related to the theory of waves, which is basically how energy can travel through disturbances of a medium, like ripples on the surface of a pond or sound through the air. Light doesn't need a medium to travel through. It can travel through the vacuum of space, but it still follows the same principles as all waves, namely reflection, refraction, and diffraction. This leads us to electromagnetism, the description of magnets, electricity, or more generally, electric and magnetic fields. It was a physicist called James Clerk Maxwell who discovered that these are two aspects of the same thing, and derived the wonderfully elegant rules of electromagnetism, and theorized that light was an electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetism also explains all of electricity. Jumping back a little bit, classical mechanics is related to Newton's laws and covers the properties and motion of solid objects, how they move when forces hit them, and what happens when they are joined together, like in gears or in buildings or bridges. Fluid mechanics is the description of flows of liquids and gases. Using fluid mechanics, you can work out how much lift is generated from an aeroplane's wing or how aerodynamic a car is. Fluid mechanics is notoriously difficult, mostly because the motions of tiny things like molecules get really complicated really fast, which leads us to chaos theory. Chaos theory is the description of large, complex systems and how small differences in initial conditions can lead to very different final outcomes. Thermodynamics is the description of energy and how it passes from one form to another. It also includes entropy, which is a measure of order and disorder and basically tells you how useful different kinds of energy are. Energy is a fundamental property to physics, and although I've written energy here, I should have written it everywhere on this map, because everything has energy. So that's all of classical physics, the picture of the universe we had around the year 1900. It told us we lived in a universe where everything ran sort of like clockwork. If you could measure everything accurately enough, the future was kind of predetermined. However, not everything was solved. There were just a few holes in experiments that hinted at something more. The orbit of Mercury was slightly too fast, and some strange things happened on the smallest scales with electrons and light, which were all unexplained. Physicists at the time thought that they'd solve and explain these problems soon enough, but poking at them, they unravelled the new domains of relativity and quantum physics and turned our understanding of the universe completely on its head. Albert Einstein was the genius who developed the theories of special and general relativity. Special relativity predicts that the speed of light is constant for all observers, which means that when you travel really fast, weird stuff starts happening, like time slowing down. It also states that energy and matter are different aspects of the same thing through the famous formula E equals mc squared. General relativity says that space and time are part of the same fabric called space-time, and that the force of gravity comes from objects bending space-time, making other objects fall in towards them. While relativity describes the very big, other physicists were busy at work on the very small in the world of quantum physics. Atomic theory probed the nature of the atom, and more detailed descriptions of the atom were developed, from a tiny sphere to electron orbits, to energy levels, and then to the electrons being wave-like charge distributions. Condensed matter physics describes the quantum physics of many atoms together in solids and liquids, and is where many great technologies have come from, like computers, lasers, and quantum information science.
So
Nuclear
guys,
physics
have you
describes
finished
how
with
the nucleus
watching?
of atoms behave, and explains radiation, nuclear fission, the splitting of an atom used in our nuclear power
А, не
plants,
досмотрели?
and nuclear fusion, which takes place in the sun and will hopefully soon be harnessed here on Earth. Particle physics probes even deeper to find the fundamental subatomic particles that everything is made of, and are described in the standard model of particle physics. And quantum field theory captures all of quantum physics and combines it with the special theory of relativity, and it's the best description of the universe we have. Unfortunately, quantum field theory doesn't include gravity, and so physicists don't know how to join together quantum physics and the general theory of relativity, leading to the giant chasm of ignorance. One day in the future, we hope to close this chasm and come up with a theory of all of physics. We call it quantum gravity. And there are many attempts to do this. Some examples are string theory or loop quantum gravity, and there's many more. But quantum gravity isn't the only thing we observe but don't understand. There are also the major puzzles of dark energy and dark matter, which seem to make up 95% of the universe, so all of our physics only really describes 5% of what we know about, and everything else at the moment is a mystery. And there are many other mysteries out there, like the Big Bang, and no doubt there's things beyond that we don't even know that we don't know. Which gets to the lofty cloud which floats over all of physics, philosophy. Although many physicists make fun of philosophy, it's the big philosophical questions that motivate a lot of physics, like what is the fundamental nature of reality? How come the universe even exists? Do we have free will if we're just made of physics? Well, how do we know that the way that we do physics and science actually gets to the fundamental truth of the universe? And just why is all of physics like the way it is? Well, those are rather big questions, ones which we may or may never answer, but there's no reason to give up trying. After all, physicists are not quitters. And that was the map of physics. So that's the end. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still kind of working on the format of this channel, playing around with a few different things, and I kind of like this animation style. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy this kind of stuff, you want me to do more, and if there's any specific
Держись подальше от улиц, нет, я не строю иллюзий. Но что а у меня ты мне не Роин свободный как Рони налил ей джин, Тоник вкинул туда, Молли скинул весь долг, Соник купил ей рейндж, Ровер, ну что а у меня сотни тысяч, сотни тысяч, сотни тысяч. Я благословил.
So have you finished?
Ну, я да.
Okay, let's move on to the task number 4. There you have to answer the following questions. And the first was, yes, why is it so hard to say what physics is? Michael, could you start with the first question? Try to answer it.
Because we don't know some part of physics now, and we can't understand all of it.
Mm-hmm. So I think physics is a huge subject. Yes, this covers many difficult topics, going from galaxies in the depths of space, right down to subatomic particles. Yes, and so on. Yes, you're right. Number two, Ilya, the second question.
I just finished watching.
I see.
I need to find it.
Maxim, number two.
Number two. Physics is a small subject and it doesn't cover a lot of topics. It's false.
No. What can the three domains of physics be broken into? Task number 4.
Sorry, what question?
Task number 4, the second line, the second question. What can the three domains of physics be broken into?
One moment, I can find this question. Это же файл map of physics, так?
Да. На что можно было разбить эти три области физики?
We can
break down, да? Break down.
Break or to share physics on three parts.
To three main parts.
Main parts called classical physics, relativity, and quantum physics.
Right. Okay. Number 3. Artem, the third one.
The starter of classical physics is Isaac Newton.
Right. Number 4, Polina. What does the laws of motion describe?
Yes. The motion, the laws of motion describe the motion of some objects on the Earth and the motion of planets.
Okay. In the sky with the following of objects, yes, on Earth, into one elegant and a general description. Okay. 5. Number 5, Sveta.
What the starter of classical physics also invented me. He also did several inventions in optics. For example, some laws connected with light and color, the refraction and reflection.
I think he also calculus, yes, he invented calculus. No?
Yes.
Extremely powerful, yes, mathematical tool which has been used over the centuries to derive new physics. Yeah? I think that is the right answer. Okay, number 6. Number 6. Artem,
what is optics closely related to? Optics closely related to waves.
Как мы скажем, оптика тесно связана с теорией волн.
No, theory about waves.
Theory of waves, yeah.
Theory of waves.
Yes, which is basically how energy can travel through disturbances of the medium, just like ripples on the surface of a point of sound through the air. Yeah. Okay. Number 7. What is electromagnetism? Stepan. What is it like?
Electromagnetism is a theory that explains electromagnetic field and charged particles.
Right. Okay. The next one. Ilya. Number 8. Who mainly contributed into this science? Yeah.
James Clerk Maxwell was this science.
Как мы его называем? Не Clark, да? James Clark Maxwell. Number 9. Danny.
Electromagnetism also explain waves and light.
I think it explains all of electricity. Yeah, electromagnetism, all of electricity. Okay, number 10. Ivanov Oleg.
What does fluid mechanics describe? Fluid mechanics describe describe motion of gases and liquids and aerodynamics.
Good. 11. Michael.
11, да? Why is it notoriously difficult? Notoriously.
You need help with translation. Почему механика жидкости заведомо трудна, да?
Because it have a lot of effects.
So fluid mechanics is notoriously difficult, mostly because motions of tiny things like molecules get really complicated really fast. Yeah. Yes, you were right. Okay, number 12. Svetlana.
What is the house theory? It's the part of physics which describes some difficult process and how it depends on changes on starting conditions.
So guys, it is the description of large complex systems. Yes, that's how small differences in initial conditions can lead to very different final outcomes. What is it? Outcomes. Исходы, да, какие-то выводы, результаты. Okay, so the next one. Thermodynamics. Yes, what is it? Who can explain? Stepan. Stepan, number 13.
Thermodynamics is a theory that explains energy and heat.
And how it passes, yes, from one form to another. Yeah. It also includes entropy, which is a measure of old and disorder, and basically tells you how useful different kinds of energy are, I think. Yeah, so number 14. Number 14, it's Боболев. Давайте, Артем, мы вас послушаем последним, да, и я думаю, что это задание вам пойдет на дом в том числе. То есть то, что мы сегодня не доделали, вы это доделаете дома. Можете еще раз посмотреть видео. Так, Артем, and the last question, please.
By what time could classical physics describe all the phenomena? It could describe all the phenomena until the quantum mechanics was invented.
So, yes, and I think it had around the year 1900, yeah? Classical physics, sorry. Так, хорошо, ребят. Что хотела я вам сказать? Сейчас я вам пришлю вам домашнее задание. Это мы с вами проверили. Так, по поводу плана, когда у нас вообще все будет, да, с вами, в какие числа мы пишем работу. Так, у нас сегодня какой? 24-й, да? 24-й сегодня? Да. Так, значит, на следующей неделе мы с вами... Сейчас скажу. Так, у вас, получается, мы пишем проверку сначала, ну, точнее, подготовку, да, к финальному тестированию. Мы это пишем на уроке, на паре. И уже 1 числа, это будет вторник, мы с вами пишем model тест, да, прям самый основной, да, касаемо... Я так понимаю, что там будет именно лексика на тему, которую мы с вами проходили по Guide to Science. Вот. Так, 28-го у нас финальный тест. 8-го у нас обменный урок, устный зачет. Там у нас фонетическое чтение будет. У вас, кстати, фонетическое чтение будет. И пересказ, да, то есть нового текста, который вы видите впервые. Ну, я думаю, что вам дадут определенное количество времени, там 10 минут, 15 точно дадут на подготовку. Я уточню по поводу времени, сейчас пока не знаю, не могу сказать. Так, и вот, да, то есть как бы обменный урок у нас, устная часть, она будет состоять из 2 пар. Вот, вы поделитесь пополам, да, то есть одна половина будет отвечать 8 числа, а вторая будет 11 отвечать. Ну и зачет у нас, основной зачет будет 15 числа, да, то есть это самый крайний день, когда мы сдаем. То есть это на что? Анализ ошибок, да, допущенных в итоговой контрольной работе, анализ оценок, полученных за устную часть зачета, ну и выставление зачетов. Я так понимаю, что мы будем, 15 числа ничего не будет, мы автоматически проставим вам зачет за, так сказать, финальное тестирование и устную часть экзамена. Если какие-то вопросы есть, вы меня спрашиваете. А так, в принципе, мне кажется, я вам все рассказала. Do you have any questions?
С какого момента нужна камера?
Камера, ребят, обязательно нужна, когда у вас будет устный экзамен, устный зачет, точнее, экзамена у вас нет. Это будет с 8 по 11. Ну, там уже сами определитесь, когда вы будете сдавать между собой. Вот. 8 и 11 числа у вас устные части, поэтому обязательно камера должна быть. И, подождите секундочку, момент. Вот касаемо финального теста, я полагаю, что вы тоже будете писать на камере, а это будет 4 числа. Вот. Я думаю, что да, так, наверное, и будет проходить. Вы будете включать камеру, будете писать. И все это время за вами будет куратор наблюдать. Да? То есть, в общем, как вы это пишете, чтобы вы нигде ничего не подсматривали. Вот. Так что, наверное, все-таки с 4 числа вам нужно будет это все принести и как-то подготовить, да, свое рабочее место. Так, какие-нибудь вопросы еще остались? Все понятно, да? Все понятно. Так, в общем, в любом случае, да, у нас держим связь с вами через ВКонтакте. Вот, если какие-то вопросы будут дополнительные, то можете задать их мне там. So, guys, the lesson is over. Thanks for your attention. Good luck. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
До свидания.
Кринж.